All right, so let's get started. Freya, you get the honor and I'll call it in the air. Let's go tails. And it is heads. Now, going last isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually kind of fun because the opposing player goes first. I get to see what they lay out and it helps me counteract that. So it's not necessarily a disadvantage to go last. All right, so Frey has just rolled, and you can see here that she's actually rolled several different symbols. 3 of them have the gold border. So if she were to go ahead and place these down, automatically she would get 3 tokens at the beginning of the round. Now we're gonna actually go back and forth 3 times. So we each get 3 opportunities to roll and pick the dice that we want. So usually a strategy is you're gonna wanna always go with these gold borders, but it depends what you wanna do, right? The strategy can change. If you have a player that has very low health and you wanna go in for the kill, well then you may execute a move where all you do is put down attacks. Depends on the strategy. So we'll let Frey go ahead and pick the dice she wants to put down. So the advantage is she went first, so I can actually see what she's planning to do. But right here, she's laid out a defense plan. This is purely defense. So for me, I'm not too worried about what's happening right now. So now I'm gonna go ahead and roll. All right, so I've rolled a helmet with the gold border and a steel. So we'll go ahead and put those there. And I'm not gonna take anything else right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to my next roll and see if I can get more with the gold border. All right, so she's rolled an arrow with the gold border, so that's an attack. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my second roll. And I got nothing, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass. I won't choose anything from this. Now this is a gamble because I could also roll some garbage dice and I'm forced to take all 4 of them. So we'll see what happens because that'll be my 3rd roll. And the 3rd roll, you have to play out whatever dice are left. All right, so you can see here that Frey's got 2 arrow attacks and I have no shields. So I need some shields, otherwise I'm gonna get completely attacked here. And you can see she has 2 shields already set up and 2 helmets. So this isn't a round where I'm gonna look to attack because she's already got a pretty solid defense going. So for me, I'm gonna try and focus on stealing tokens and trying to get tokens for myself. All right, so we've got a defense, gold token, I've got an attack, and I've got 2 axe attacks right here. Now, ideally, you want to lay out your dice the same way that they do in the game. So you're going to lay them out and put your attacks first. So you've got your axe attacks, arrow attack, then you're going to have your helmet defense, shield defense, and then your steel at the very end. It's just easier to match up against your opponent. Okay, so first up, we're going to give out the tokens. So we can see I've got 4 tokens that I've earned, and Frey's got 4 as well. So let's give out the tokens from the pile here. There you go. And generally, you want to stack them in groups of 5, just to keep track. So next up, we got to decide whether or not we want to use a God Favor card. So each card requires a certain amount of tokens to use. So we'll flip them over here and we'll take a look. So I've got Thor's Strike, I've got Heimdall's Watch, and I've got Odin's Sacrifice. Now these cards here happen to require 4 tokens for the very basic attack or move, and I've got 4 ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm doing a Thor's Strike for 4 tokens for 2 hit points. And now it's up to Frey to decide what she wants to do. Now, Frey only speaks Old Norse, so I'm going to explain what's happening here. She's actually not going to play any of her God Favor cards. And the reason why is because I actually have a steel dice down here. So what's going to happen is before she gets to execute her God Favor card, we're going to play the dice. And that means I'm going to steal one of her tokens. So when I steal one of her tokens, she'll only have 3 left, so she won't be able to use them for any of the cards she has. So this is a strategy to bear in mind, is when you play one of these cards, are you going to have enough of the tokens left by the time you're done playing the dice? Or are you going to get too many stolen? So watch out for that. All right, so let's go ahead and play the dice. So she went first, so that means I have to react to her attacks and her moves. So she's got the arrow attacks. I have no shields. So she plays those, and I remove 2 of my health counters. Those are gone. Next up, she's got the 2 shields, which actually counteract my 2 axes. So that gets canceled as well. I've got an arrow attack, which she countered with her shield, so that doesn't count. These are 2 defense dice, the 2 helmets, useless. And I have the 1 steel, so I go ahead and steal 1 of her tokens. And that's how you execute the dice. Now, the last part is the attack that I'm going to do with my God Favor card, which is the Thor Strike. So you're going to lose 2 health counters. So 2 health counters gone, and I spent 4 gold tokens, leaving me with 1. And that's the first round, and the object of the game is to continue to play until the first person loses all their health counters, that person's eliminated, and the other person is the winner. Shall we continue, Frey? Let's do it. So now it's my turn to go first, all right? So the coin comes here on my side, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice first, and let's see who's gonna walk out of here victorious. Now, while we continue to play, Frey's developing a strategy. She's actually building up her gold tokens. So instead of playing gold tokens just as she gets 4 or whatever, she's piling them up so that she can absolutely destroy me, because some attacks take 8 health points away from you. And if you're down to 8, it just takes 1 God Favor card and you're toast. It's a smart strategy, and not gonna lie, that tends to be what she beats me with. Okay guys, so at this point, the beginning of the end has just started. So here's the unfortunate circumstance I'm in. So Frey has loaded up on God Favor tokens and is about to absolutely annihilate me. I only have 5 health counters left. I've got a full-on attack going. She's got 3. Now here's where I got unlucky. So I have a full attack going on, but she also got nothing but defense to counter my attack. So at the end of the day, what's going to count is what the God Favor card is. And she's got all these tokens, so she's about to unload, and I'm going to lose 8 hit points, which is more than enough to take my 5 lowly health counters here. So I'm about to say bye-bye. Let's execute. All right, so 1 arrow, I'm dead, like that. Now you've got all defense to basically, you've got 2 of those to counter the axe. You've got 3 shields to counter 3 arrows, and I've got 1 arrow, you use 1 counter, leaving you with 2 counters. So let's move on. And now she executes the death blow, Thor's Strike, for 12 tokens, destroying my health counters, and I lose. And the goddess wins. Good game.